Welcome back. Congratulations again on finishing the entire Korean alphabet, Hangul. Now we're going to start by learning a few phrases, hello and goodbye. But before we get into those phrases, I wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction to Korea. Originally, Korea was one country, but it was split in two at the end of the Korean War, which was from 1950 to 1953. Fun fact, my grandpa actually served in the Korean War. Now, both North and South Korea both speak Korean, but a little bit differently. Think of it as like American English versus British English. The name of South Korea in Korean is Hanguk. 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 They have a population of over 50 million people, and the capital city is Seoul. Seoul. The language spoken in Korea is Hanguk-어. 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 Literally Korean language. And the sentence structure of Korean is very different from English. It goes subject, object, verb, which is different from English, which goes subject, verb, object. Here's an example of how that works. In English, we might say, I eat pizza. I, subject, eat, verb, and pizza is the object of the verb eat. In Korean, however, they use subject, object, verb. So I, subject, pizza, the object of the verb eat. I, pizza, eat. Subject, object, verb. And just like English, Korean also has nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and more. And if you're not familiar with these terms, I will be explaining them along the way. So let's learn first how to say hello. Now, the way that you say hello is actually a bit different depending on who you're talking to. For example, if you want to say hello to your close friend or to someone who's the same age as you or younger and you're close with, you can just say 안녕, 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 안녕. However, to anyone else, you should never say 안녕. You should instead say 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. And while you can just wave when you say 안녕 to someone, you should instead bow when you say 안녕하세요 to someone. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 안녕. Again, keep in mind that the way you speak to someone will depend on your relationship with them. This in Korean is known as politeness levels, which I will be covering later on. So, when I said that you can say 안녕 to close friends or people you're friendly with who are the same age as you or younger, I put a little asterisk next to age. That's because when I say age, I'm not talking about regular age that you're familiar with. I'm talking about Korean age, which is a little bit different. Here's how Korean age works. In Korea, everyone is born as 1 year old already. From birth, you are 1 year old. Everyone gains 1 year at the same time on January 1st, on the new year. Birthdays in Korea are celebrated, but not celebrated as the day that you get older, simply celebrated as the day that you were born. So here's how to calculate your Korean age. Take the current year that it is, subtract your birth year, and then add 1, because you were 1 when you were born. So a person born in 1986 would be, in Korean age, 35 in the year 2020. So take a second and pause this video and think about how old you would be in Korea right now. All right, let's move on. So for a quick review, to friends who are close with you or anyone you're really close with who is the same age as you or younger, you can say 안녕. And to everyone else that you're not close with or anyone who's older than you, you have to say 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. And saying goodbye works in a similar way. To close friends who are also the same Korean age as you or younger, you can just say 안녕, 안녕. So, 안녕 works as not just a way of saying hello, but also goodbye to your close friends. For anyone else, however, you should say one of two options. 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. Say this one to anybody who is leaving where you are and going somewhere else. It literally means go in peace. 안녕히 가세요. Or if you're the one who's leaving and you're saying goodbye to someone who's not going somewhere, you would instead say 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 계세요. This literally means stay in peace. 안녕히 계세요. Let's do a short conversation practice between two people, 민우 and 선아. First, 민우 says, 안녕하세요. Then 선아 says, 안녕하세요. 민우 replies, 안녕히 가세요. And 선아 replies, 안녕히 계세요. This is a polite conversation between two people who are not close friends or at least are not the same age. Now let's take a look at the same conversation between two close friends who are the same age. 안녕, 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 안녕. Hello, hello, goodbye, goodbye. So today we learned how to say hello and goodbye to both close friends as well as anyone else. So practice what you've learned in this lesson and I'll see you guys again in the next lesson. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.